And welcome to Let's Fly VFR. Today we're having a change of location, heading up to the mid-north coast of New South Wales. So let's have a look at a new airport and have a look at some new scenery. I've got to use the Australian 01 on the ortho. Let's go!
Hi YouTube, welcome to Let's Fly VFR. Hi, my name's Gunny.
Well, welcome into the aircraft, guys. Today's a fun, relaxing flight around the north or mid-north coast of New South Wales. This flight centres from Warrnambool, or Warrnambool. It cracks me up. We all know who Warnie is, don't we? He's got a town named after him. So, what we're planning to do is just take off from this new airport that I've done. Just spend a few hours on that and put it together today. And we're going to fly out east. We're going to head out over the water, up north, up along the beach, and back in. And just have a bit of a look around. I really wanted to do Newcastle for you today, guys, but I'm going to need another week just to build that airport. I've spent hours at it already and haven't made much of an impression on it, so there's a hell of a lot to do. But as always, it's great fun, otherwise I wouldn't bother doing it. So the next thing we need to do is have a look at our current airport and the information for Warrnambool. Oh, get me again. Okay, so here is the charts. So if you have a look at the charts, there's a few important things. So we've got YWVA, 25 feet above sea level. The variation is plus 12 degrees, so we've got a few more to deal with. It was 8 in Adelaide, if you remember. 125.8 is the local channel. The runway is 20, or is preferred is 20, but we're actually going to use 02 today because the wind's coming from 070 at about 8 knots. So that's from the right as we're looking out, or it'd be out along our wing coming in. So once we're lined up, it'll be about 10 to 15 degrees off to the right and coming in. So there's your airport information, there's the runway setup, and a basic quick look at how the airport is laid out. So main runway is ahead of us. Now I've done a lot of the local nearby buildings. A few factories nearby, it would seem, and they're pretty big. The trees and everything you see around are autogen, pretty amazing. I did the ortho for XP, but I used the Australian 01, which I haven't done before. I normally use the BI, and this looks extremely good. So here's a quick run around the airport. You can see the runway length, you can see the buildings to the right there, but it's just surrounded by forest otherwise, and there's a couple of lots of big factories which I had some fun building, so they're looking something like realistic. At least flying over them, they'll look like some big factories as well. So it's time for me to stop talking about what we're going to do, and it's about time we got out there and actually did it. So let's jump in the plane and get ready to taxi. See you there in a sec. Well guys, all briefed and ready to go. Let's just set up our heading bug, which should be pretty easy to do because we're going to be heading out at 090 is what my best guess is. So we'll rotate that around. We can see that also our compass is at 270, which will be our reverse course, obviously. So we'll set that there just to remember, and that seems to be about right as well. So let's just pop over to the middle and zoom in, and that maybe some parallax in that. Parallax error. So anyway, All good. Let's have a look around. So this airport, this one I've just put together this afternoon. I really wanted to take you to Newcastle and go and have a look at the Air Force Base and Williamtown, but it wasn't to be. I have done several hours of work already on that airport, and it looks like I have hardly done anything to it at all. So there's going to be a bit of time involved. So next week, hopefully by next week, it will be at a reasonable standard. And as always with all my airports, they're not designed to be perfect. I just don't have the tools. Using Overlay Editor doesn't give me the tools always to get 100% accurate. So my airports are just there to give you somewhere to arrive and have it look like an airport when you get there. And that's the extent of it, guys. If you need or you would like perfect airports when you arrive, then you need to go build them yourself, because it's just too much. I don't have enough time to do that. I have enough fun doing this. I really just do these for me, and I share them with you guys and girls. If you happen to like them, that's all good. You can always go back to the default if you want to. But I was pretty disappointed when I saw that Williamtown Air Base and the airport, which are one and the same, didn't have a single building on it, even in default. One of my short-term, I don't think subscriber is the right term, but we were communicating on Facebook, and I'm not going to mention the name, but it started all nice and it got silly pretty quickly when he decided that he didn't like X-Plane anymore. And if anybody's been looking on Facebook this week, which is early December of 2017, because these videos hang around a bit, he got quite abusive towards everyone, and then sent me some messages, and then immediately made it so I couldn't reply. So anyway, it's what life's about. When you do these things, you run into these people, don't you? But this is pretty impressive. Now, the only thing I haven't done with the scenery here, now this is all default auto gen, which I'm really impressed with. This is just really good. I haven't done an ounce. I'm doing buildings and roads and taxiways if need be, but this one has all the taxiways and runways in place, so that's really good. We've got a little bit of wind. It's about 7 knots out of 070. So that's why we're going to take 020 or 02 and go from there. Now, I didn't know that was a Bunnings. That's a bit of auto-gen scenery there. Let's put the brake on and we'll just do our run up. Okay, 1700, looking good. Just roll it back onto one single, little drop, that's as good. And onto the other mag, running smoothly still, which is all important. All nice. Yeah, so let's have a quick look round the pattern. All looking good, just foot brakes on. It's fairly quiet in this airport, I believe. So now, if you're not aware, well, I've shown you the map already, so you'll know where we are roughly. Now, the trips I'm planning to do are a flight from here at Warnervale. Didn't know Warning was good enough to have a town named after him. Anybody who's not an Australian happen to be watching this, Mr. Warner is a famous cricket player in Australia, and quite surprised there was a town named after him. Oh, it's just coincidental, obviously, but that's what it is. So we're going to take off. We're going to do a normal climb out, and I'm going to climb as quickly as possible because there aren't many places to put the aircraft down if things go sour. The buildings here all mine. We do have some contours, which is really nice. The one thing I haven't done yet, which I will do, is download the high definition mesh version 4 for this area. And the other change that I made in all the other scenery that you've seen me use, hopefully, or if you haven't, go back and have a look at some of the other flights that we've done. That was all done with BI, which I think is Bing, when you do your ortho for XP. This one I used Oz1. When I tried to use it before, it didn't work. But it worked well, but my God, was it slow. I did 4 tiles and it took about 6 hours. Only at zoom 17, so it wasn't anything serious. So anyway, so the wind's going to be coming from the right. Let's worry about the flight for now. And I haven't done a flight. I haven't been up and had a look around, guys, so we're all seeing this together for the first time. So hopefully we're impressed, because I even did a zoom level update, if you like, on the water. So hopefully the water looks nice when we get over to the lake over there, or the water anyway. So going off, we're going to have a little right, so we're going to need a little bit of right aileron as we go gently on. It's only a narrow runway, isn't it? There's not much to it. It's like a single lane car road. I'm just going to try and balance that. Okay, just got enough right rudder, not quite enough right rudder, a bit more. Bring us back. There's our 60 knots, and leapt into the sky. We'll climb. Now we're aiming for our 76 knots, which we had there for a moment. Get our altitude, our attitude correct. Keep flying out. That's really nice. I'm impressed. I tell you, there's no disappointment for me using X-Plane 11. I tell you. Just awesome. Okay, we're going to go left, but continue to climb. Don't you get amazing climb rates? Awesome stuff. Really good. I'm trying to refrain from using awesome. Well and truly murdered, isn't it, that word? Certainly damn good though. Okay, just going to keep climbing around. Now we've got the Blue Mountains a little south, but all of the hills and everything are all part of the same, all the same, I think. There's a couple of different reserves out behind us there, out to the west. Climbing nicely. Now I'm just going to go up to, I think we'll go to about 2,500, and then we'll do some 500-foot stuff when we get over the beach, eh? It's looking pretty good. It's only a quick jaunt. It's only sort of 10 nautical miles or something, 10 kilometres. It's not very far. So we can see it already. Let's level out at 2,000. I reckon that's a good call. We'll see what the towns and everything look like. Okay, there we are. Let's have a little bit of forward pressure. Level it out, and then we'll bring the RPM back a little. This is only intended to be a short flight, sort of intro one for you guys and myself, because I'm really interested just to see how nice the scenery comes out. But right now, I've got to say, very impressed. It looks really good, and it's a real change from the burned, dried scenery that we had in South Australia. I think there's a good chance I might have to build some more tiles over there, I think, and see if I can't get the Oz 01 to work over there. Certainly does look nice. So as we head over to the water here, if we turn left and go north, we're going to head north towards Newcastle, and if we go to the right, then we can head down to Sydney. So we'll do flights both ways, and I think this is a nice place to be. So we'll start from here. The flights either way are only moderate, so it'll take a huge amount of time. It's up in the back seat, and that's pretty good, isn't it? Really happy with that. And just ortho scenery for the ground. I've not played with it down there, but it looks pretty good. If we get some, I'm actually doing this in the evening, although I'm using real world weather and real world everything else. I'm going to use the Face Track No IR, I think, for the next flights if I'm able to do it during the day. It's a bit of a loss at night time. You just don't get enough light really in it for it to track your face well and have it smooth and not have it stop and reset on you. It's very good. It's just you need that, have that light. It's pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with this. Let's take a cruise north. Let's try and maintain our altitude. I'll fly this manually for a bit of fun. And what do I need? We need to check everything. So fuels is good. Our EGT needs to be sorted out because that's a bit on the cool front. Let's just sort our mixtures out. That looks a little bit over the top. We'll just go back a bit. I'm not sure you can do that with a scroll. No, it tends to scroll your view in. Let's look left. And that looks clear. Let's do a left turn. Looking forward, just checking the horizon. So when you make these turns, you try and get used to distances, like distances between here and your horizon line when you're flying VFR. But if you're sitting in a left seat, when you turn left you will go below the horizon, and when you turn right you tend to get a higher point of view on the horizon. So because your head goes from sitting around, let's say on line, will go up here because obviously you're now higher than on the center line of the aircraft. But if you turn left, then you tend to go down because you go down there. So you need some just visual points. Sometimes it's a cowling when you turn at a given rate. That particular little scratch on the cowling is the right angle of your turn and you're in the right place. It's pretty good out there. I'm not familiar enough with the area to give you a good running commentary right now. Maybe I'll pop the map up while we're doing this in post-production, shall we say, and we can have a look at the map just so you get a bit of an idea. And we can use the X-plane map. Just try and get my altitude down a little bit. Shall we go down the beach? I think we should. So we're going to go down. We've still got fuel pumps on. Let's put our mixture all the way in. We'll take the RPM off while we're cruising down. Let's see what it looks like a little closer. Just be careful of our speeds. We don't really want to leave the green zone. Nothing out there. It's looking pretty nice. There's enough autogen there, and there seems to be a nice depth in the photo scenery as well. It's looking pretty good. They tell me it's good fun doing 500-foot runs down the beach. So we'll just do that. Hope you're not feeling sick. Grab the sick bag if you need to. And I've had a few more guys come on board as subscribers. I'd like to thank you guys for taking the time to just push that button and come in with me. It really is helpful to know that you guys are supporting me and you like what I'm doing. So far, out of my 22 or 23 videos, no one's hit a don't like yet, so I'm pretty happy with that. Got a few likes. You guys seem to have an aversion to hitting the like button for me though. You could do that, that would be helpful. Mr. YouTube / Google likes you to do that. That helps me get to more people. People will find me as I get more likes and comments and things are all good. It's all part of that magical algorithm that they use to decide whether a good channel or a crappy one. So as we're flying around the eastern states, or even part of New South Wales here, I'm sure we're going to visit a few of the local airports. So I'll put those in a New South Wales pack somewhere down the road, probably a couple of weeks away yet. But if you're from New South Wales and you'd like the airports that I build in New South Wales, we'll make those separate from the ones that I was doing in South Australia. Certainly plenty of auto-gen trees there. Not doing bad on the frame rates. I'm hitting 28, 29 at the moment, which seems pretty reasonable. I think we need a few little sailboats and stuff, don't we? That'd be nice. Maybe I should hide some bikini-clad ladies on the beach or something like that for you. See if you can find them. There are a few beach-going people in the library of 3D people I have, so yeah, that might be a laugh. So what do you think, guys? Is the AU01 looking good to you? And what do you guys use if you're out there orthoing? Seems that a lot of people do use the Ortho for XP. What have we got down there? Looks like a little island. If you happen to live in this area, feel free to let me know if there's any good places to go and visit. I think we definitely have to do a mountain flight and head down and go down and have a look at what the Blue Mountains are like in X-Plane 11. There's another little township. They don't have the real world maps for this area. I've only got them for the Adelaide area, so you're going to have to find a substitute for that. Now, if you haven't seen the last video I did, guys, of the where to find flight information, feel free to just grab onto that last video and have a look. I've got some information there on the NAIPS and where to find your information that I showed you in the pre-flight. It's pretty good. Looks like it'd be a really pretty area. I've only ever been to Newcastle. Had a couple of stints of 3 months in Newcastle when I had to do some courses many years ago. Did a Mirage 3 course, which was good. And then quite a few years later I came back and did the F-18A course. That also was awesome. That was really good. Well, we'll climb now, I think. Let's get some altitude and we'll see what we can see in the distance. So we're going to aim to pitch for that 75, 76 knots and continue to climb up, and then we'll head back towards Warnerville. It still cracks me up that Warnie's got a town named after him. Okay, back up towards 2000. It's pretty realistic. This must look absolutely brilliant in VR. I so much want to get VR. quite a disappointment when I discovered I couldn't use my 3D glasses that I use with some of the other programs that use DirectX. Just the what am I doing up here? I'm higher than I expected. Let's go to the 2.5. Okay, we'll do that, and we'll head back towards the airport. There's another airport there to the right of us. We could go and visit that and see what's there. I imagine there won't be too much. If Newcastle Airbase, Newcastle Airport / Williamtown Air Force Base has no buildings, and a little runway out here is not going to have much going for it, I would suspect. But we'll come out and visit these other little ones on another day. I'll check them out first and make sure that they look up to at least the Let's Fly VFR standard. At least got a few buildings and things, and no trees growing through any buildings. Excuse me if I'm sniffing a little, guys. I've been fighting a cold for the last month. Okay, I'm going to get lazy. Let's have the let's just have the altitude hold. I think that had a minus. Let's go -1, just to take us down over a minute. Again, back checking our fuel, checking our mixture. Let's just pull that out a little ways. Our temperatures are all in the green. Vacuum's good. Amps are good. All in the green, which is where we want them to be. A little bit too lean. Let's bring that back. All very nice. And I hope you guys have got your shopping lists all ready for 2017 Christmas. Written your letters off to Santa. More scenery packages and aircraft to be found on Christmas Day, no doubt. Let's go a little right. Let's have a look at the map. I am guessing that, yeah, WMV. That's where we want to go. So let's go over there. Need to learn how to use this GPS a bit better. It's just off my nose. Don't you hate it when it does that? Oh, there we go. Come on, be nice. Okay, that seems to be about right. It's a little bit less than 230. And we'll hit the hitting bug. It'll be pretty good. Let's put that away. How many of you guys use multiple screens? That'd be really nice. I'd like to do that. Even if I had the small one, had the iPad for just having the map and everything on it. If you're not aware, guys, I believe all you need to do is hit this. And then you can drag it across and off the screen and do whatever you want with it. So, yeah. Let's just pop that away. Don't need that now. And let's just click our altitude hold. And how far have we got to go? We're on 35 miles is our full scale, so we're looking at 30. And 128 knots across the ground. Looking pretty good. We've got a good tailwind because there's 120. We're reading 115 through the air. So we've got a bit of a nice tailwind getting us out there. Go a little bit further right. What's over there? What's that one? That looks like our airport. It is, so let's go over there. So it shows my navigation. It's still got a bit to be desired. So, mixture in, turn all out, autopilot off, and we'll idle back, and we will come in and descend. Now, they don't like you to do straight in approaches here. I should have mentioned that in the pre-flight briefings. So we do have to fly around, and they don't like you to fly to the southeast. I think there's some schools and things over there, so they'd like you not to go and pester them. So checking, 02 is going to be going that way. So we need to go across, turn right, around, and then come into the strip. So we're going to join on the downwind leg. So we will go out this way a little. There's a number of different ways you can join patterns depending on which direction you're coming from. You tend to join a pattern at a 45-degree point. So midfield on the downwind leg is good. You do the 45 so you can see both to your left and see aircraft in the pattern already, and you're able to see anything that's ahead of you as well. Oh, I just realised I haven't done what I normally do and stick some aeroplanes around here to keep us all on our toes. So the mission, should I choose to accept it, is to add some trikes and gliders and things to make sure that we're all keeping our head out of the cockpit and not playing with instruments, as VFR pilots should be. Okay, looking pretty nice. The scenery there's looking okay. Don't know why it shimmers sometimes. It's got a little bit of a shimmer on there. Okay, and this is quite a narrow runway as well, so checking on the inbound, make sure nothing's coming in, can't see anything. Right, we need to get back down to pattern height. Just got a little bit of height to lose. Just keep that, yep, and let's bring that around. A bit on the tight side, so you want to be at pattern height, so that's 1024 feet, and we want to be out here so that when we look left, I'd say we need to be over the top of the factory over here, the Bunnings. I'm sure that it's a Bunnings, but that's fine. Okay, pre-landing brakes, fuel quantities, fuel switch, harnesses, hatches, and heat, if we had some, and we don't. And it would be gear down, I guess, as well, if you want to do the whole thing. No matter what you do, I guess if your pre-flight checks or pre-landing checks are always the same, and if you move from one aircraft type to another, something a bit more complex, then you won't miss it if you're always using your same pre-landing checklist. So we're going to go 10 degrees, check back behind us, and we'll just rotate around a little so we can see it. It's looking good. It's looking good. There's a bit of chop there. Okay. Just going to drop that back to idle. Going to maintain my nose up. Have my descent rate. A little bit of power. Power is speed. Power is descent rate. Attitude is speed. Checking that. That's looking good. Going to come in on final. Let's turn a little early. I've been turning late so often lately doing these. I'm sure VR would make that a lot nicer. So we've got a knife. It's a little on the high side. And let's just see what the aircraft's doing. Yeah, the aircraft's is weather vaning to the right. So we need a little bit of right, a little bit of left. on the rudder, left on the rudder, right on the yoke. Just keeping that right wing down. It's only light, so it's not a big deal. And we need to just get across a little bit. I think I'm going to cheat and make this runway a little bit wider. What do you reckon, guys? Would that be good? Because it's pretty thin. Okay, power off. So we're going to land a little bit long, but let's see if we can't keep it somewhat straight. It's going to be a bit crappy. Hey, hold him up, hold him up, hold him up. Left rudder, straighten it up. We'll use the grass, because I think that's ridiculously thin. There we go. And no backtracking, so we're not going to make it. So let's roll on down to the other end. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that little flight. I've got to say, I certainly did. Ooh, a little bit too heavy on the rudders. Now, I don't know how you go if you've got it just using a twist stick. You just need to be very careful. Okay, I think we rudders put our flaps away. Taxi back. So on a taxiing side, see how we can manage to keep ourselves on the taxiway without too much of a drama. So there'll be a few more flights coming. So we hopefully next week we'll do a flight. We'll do it from here, I think. That'd be certainly my thinking. We'll go up to Williamtown in whatever form it may be. It should, with a week's work, be looking pretty reasonable. There's just so much stuff, especially on the Air Force Base side of things. I've got a lot of the civilian side. The terminal there is not too bad. No, it's a terminal. It's got glass walkways and all sorts of things, which is pretty, it's nice. But there's a hell of a lot. And the underlay that you use for ortho was done when they were still building a hell of a lot of stuff from maybe the expansion, because I don't remember what's there at the moment. They had the F-18, now known as the Classics, but I think they've got a lot more there as well too. I think they have their own refuelers. The F-18 Super Hornets, I think they're all up at Amberley, so we're going to have to go to Amberley at some stage and fly around Queensland, because that's a lovely place in the world. Okay, keep on the rudder, a little bit on the brakes, straighten down a little. Give them 34 frames sitting here on the ground, that's not bad. And our weather sock is telling us that the world's not lying to us. It's about where the weather should be coming from, or the wind, 070 at about 8 knots. So, all pretty good. We've got to watch that gentleman standing on the side of the road. Yeah, so if you guys know any really nice airports that I should go visit around Central Coast that we are at the moment, please just leave me a message. Come to Let's Fly VFR Facebook page. Come there, feel free to have a chat with me there. Tell me what you know, what you've seen, what you'd like to see. It hasn't got a lot on at the moment. We've got a few followers on there, a few people have liked the page, and at the moment pretty much it's just got postings of all the videos I've done so far, so they're all on there. Okay, so let's just check before we shut down. Check our... That's better. If you're with me on the last flight, the thing nearly died, and I'm not really sure why that was the case. It does drop off a little bit, nice. Love these reflections. This is really nice. Maybe I should show you what settings I've got within the program. So anyway, for now I think we've done enough flying. I'm sure you've had enough of me chatting away. If I can help you with anything you'd like, flying to a local airport that you have, please let me know. And until next time, you guys all have a really fantastic Christmas and New Year. Be safe, and I'll catch you no doubt next week with another Let's Fly VFR video, and we'll see what I come up with during the week. I've got some ideas of some stuff that I think is really worthwhile just on the information basis, so look for that on Thursday. Yeah, probably on Thursday. So until then, fly VFR and have a really great week. Catch you again soon, guys. Thanks for taking the time to sit with me. Catch you soon. Bye bye.